All right, I got scammed. Doing my best.
Oh, somebody get that console out.
Ooh, interesting placement from FireStorm there.
Yeah. Starting to burst now, it looks like.
I think they're gonna zip on through it.
Got those intense 50 APM matchups here. I kid, of course. What a spike.
Random all clears. Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes you just find those. Crazy. Alright, FS really staying in it though. Like, I feel like CZ was kind of dominating the pace for a little bit there, but I think FS might be going back to setting the pace. Unless, you know, maybe this is a strategy, you know? Do a little bit less to set the pace and more to counter. And that worked out pretty nicely.
The most FireStorm can do is kind of disrupt the pace a little bit, not so much control it. It's really hard to know when you're controlling the pace against CZ. It's difficult enough to get that impenetrable wall, you know, showing some
nice spike.
Okay, yeah, great pressure from FireStorm there, but yeah, we'll see how this goes, because CZ typically playing a lot more fast and heavy. Okay, we're kind of seeing that in this one.
Yeah,
but I am noticing more meticulousness in his play.
When you say controlling the pace, right? Like,
yeah.
How would you describe that? Sorry if that's a hard-hitting one. I just want to hear your thoughts.
I wouldn't say it's a hard-hitting one, but really, like, the game becomes kind of a numbers game in the end, because you want to be sending more to your opponent generally, but when your opponent is prepared for it, sometimes it's not good to be sending a lot of lines to them. And because of that, you want to be very careful about when you're doing it. When you do it, makes a big difference, because it's either puts you in a better spot, or, you know, for example, if you're sending something when your field isn't looking that great, then you could easily put yourself in a bad situation. Many times at the top, for example, you kind of see that, you know, players get a little over-ambitious when they see a T-spin double that they could make, but probably isn't the best idea, especially since, you know, this game I do think is more of a defensive game in general, and so because of that, especially at the top, you want to be very careful about sending your opponent even more ammunition.
Yeah.
And,
so
you know, this is kind of supported by the
receiver of the ammunition is setting the pace?
Sorry?
So you think the receiver of the ammunition is the one setting the pace? Because they can choose what to do with the new ammunition? Or do you think the one who's, like, taking the risk?
Yeah, that is one way of thinking about it. The issue is it's constantly changing. It's not something that remains static, and talented players can typically change the pacing of the match at a moment's notice. So, you know, instead of it kind of becomes like this is yeah, actually, I wouldn't say it's a loaded question, but it's difficult for me to put into words properly that don't just sound a little convoluted in my head.
Yeah, dude, I read that down stacking guide.
It's kind of like, I think you might be getting at. It's kind of like you have these moments. At least I have these moments in game of almost clarity where you might have this kind of like back and forth cheesy sends and whatnot. You just have this moment of clarity where you just start sending pressure from nowhere, or vice versa, and you start surviving and just changing up the pace. I kind of get what you're getting at there, but it's hard to imagine it at this level in speed, to be honest.
Yeah, can we talk about how FireStorm's kind of actually just destroying everything in his wake? Like, as I say that, pushed into a tough spot and probably losing the game. My bad, commentator's curse, but...
Definitely playing with some passion today. I mean, he's up 2-5 right now on CZ, who most players would struggle to send 2 and/or 5 lines to.
Yeah. Not wrong. Oh my goodness. A little unfortunate there for FireStorm. Getting a little too greedy for that Eastman, kind of like Micro was talking about earlier, where like positioning is just so important, especially in this matchup. And FireStorm, I think, wanting a little too much, or maybe fixing a misdrop, also possible. Don't know how intentional that was, but yeah, FireStorm really just keeping up the pressure, but CZ still in this. As I say that though, FireStorm pushed to the top.
Yeah, hitting a little speed bump, and that J on the right kind of sealed his fate a little bit.
Yeah. Dang. All of a sudden, FireStorm had these insane plays. Oh, FireStorm canceling with the PC. Interesting. Ooh, gets the second one. Clean, clean. You love to see that.
It's a humongous multiplier off of that.
Really
He's just ready to
timing.
send more.
The fact that CZ lives all that is also insane. Oh my lord!
Wow.
Oh, literally
man.
turned the situation right around on him.
Yeah,
Holy
FireStorm. I mean, he was looking hot at the beginning. I'm not too sure like what exactly CZ even adjusted exactly here.
Yeah, just like that, we're back even.
I feel like some of it has been FireStorm just overextending a little too much. They say that the what a multiplier. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. FireStorm just... Oh, that's a crucial misdraw. He was in such a good position too.
CZ taking the lead this set finally.
Tragic. CZ 5 straight wins now, which is an insane amount. Okay. Oh, FireStorm trying to cancel and get the second PC, but yeah, unfortunately gets sent a single line, which crushes his hopes and dreams.
Even still found the second PC too.
Yeah. And here we are.
Able to fix that S piece real fast though. That's gonna be good. To a pretty
very
clean
nice
triple.
TST find there from FireStorm to keep that pressure going. Look at this. Just not letting up. CZ though. He's so good.
You start talking about that numbers game aspect of it, like that one T-spin triple find there really kind of saved him and kind of kept his attack in line after having to waste one and burn through another one in that weird stack earlier.
Yeah.
So I don't know how these players see these speeds. They have some just incredible effort and talent for this game.
It's crazy, right? Well, I'm not the only one who thinks so.
Yeah, I mean, with all puzzle games, it does become repetition. These guys have just like went through these patterns over and over so many times.
Yeah, that's part of what amazes me is that, and I would consider you one of these players. You know, as fast as you can sprint, Micro. The ability and patience to even go through all of that effort is a special quality in its own.
There really is no other way with this kind of thing. Like, puzzle games are very much pattern recognition, so, you know, the more you expose yourself to the pattern, the thought is you'll eventually be able to see it quicker, and eventually, you know, the thing that I was talking about before, there are multiple options that players can typically see in any situation, and each one of them has a different impact on the board. And because of that, you know, you can kind of sift through which one applies to the situation that you want to make. You know, for example, if you want your opponent to have some more Swiss cheese garbage, are you going to send them back-to-backs? No, that's not really the case. You'd probably go more towards downstack combos in that kind of situation. So these are the kind of decisions that they're kind of making on the spot, and it's happening so quickly that, you know, it's difficult to follow, but it's this just hidden kind of whatever's going on here is just this hidden narrative that they have to like follow, and following the pacing is really kind of deciding the best decision to make in the moment. And when you're completely on point, those decisions, it's kind of like you barely survive.
Speaking of completely on point, though, CZ,
Wow.
he has not dropped a game in like what feels like an eternity. As I say that, I don't know how FireStorm did that. Commentator's curse! Commentator's curse. I'm out. It's been fun. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, as we were talking about that last run, there's just so many things that both players did that you could just write a paragraph at least about. There's just so many things that came and went.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many. It's so like there's obviously this like insane mind game going on, right? And then it's or like these adaptations mid set, and then it's being combined with the like most immense, intense speed, and it's just creating this insane mesh that's just amazing to watch. Yeah, CZ's still looking very dominant here. It's gonna be up to FireStorm to find an answer to that. I don't know what the answer is though, right? Like it's so hard counter style like CZ's.
Yeah,
So.
in the last set that he played against CZ, he did try to play more, I wouldn't say passively. I'm not sure FireStorm really knows how to play passively, to be honest. But it's really kind of a game of chicken, at least the last time he played. And I mean, it's not really working in his favor here. I think he's still going through his defaults at the moment, just kind of back-to-back strings until CZ sends him a big spike. It's really difficult for FireStorm to get in because he keeps, like, the way that he sends most of his lines is usually with back-to-backs, and I think CZ loves that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like CZ's able to kind of take advantage of those repeated back-to-back, just that constant pressure rather than waves, and it really kind of almost charges him up, just release that one big wave right back at him.
Yeah, if you look at the line sent, FireStorm literally 100 more sent. But the score speaks for itself.